Hey guys, it's PickleR1ck here with another weekly market analysis. This week we're going to check back in on Isekai Meta. They did their final re-roll after all the, after clearing out all the duplicates, and we did see a few buys. The floor had been holding steady around like 0.15 to zero point 0.2, and then yesterday after the re-roll, we saw the floor kind of dip. It did get as low as around zero point 0.1, and then we did see some buybacks, and it has since gone back to that 0.18 area. As you can see, still a lot of above floor buys, so there is still a committed community here. Lots of people hopeful that they can really turn this around after after all the issues with revealing. They do still have, Studio Ghibli or Ghibli Studio quality trailers, so lots of potential here. Definitely keep an eye on any snipes that can be made. And then the next project we'll be looking at is going to be Prisoner of War. This is a project that kind of came out of nowhere during the week. It went from, below 0.01 floor. So this was one of those, like I said last week, where if they have volume, it's worth picking up a few of them below 0.01. This one got as high as about 0.04, 0.05 just on the commons. So if you would have scooped around three of those below 0.01, that's a nice little flip that you could have gotten. Let's check here on the outliers. We saw some certain traits were going for upwards of 0.2 to zero point 0.4. So those would have been some good ones. If what I like to do is I like to pick up, I like to just um, sweep around 3, but then if I could also find a rare close to the floor, I like to scoop that and try to flip it quickly, not be caught holding. It's still been holding around that 0.03 area. The team has put out some tweets, and it's still being talked about in a lot of groups. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on, see if there's any new announcements that might cause some pumps. We can check back in on Prisoners of War next week. Another one that was pretty big was Crypto Simeji. It got called in a few alpha groups. Seems to have been a big hit in the Asian community. It's one of those keyboard projects, so it's very unique art. 10K and still managed to pump pretty high. We saw it go as high as about 0.2, 0.3. It did retrace before hitting 0.4. It was called in a lot of alpha groups, and it was just one of those where it had a certain community behind it. I don't believe they have revealed yet, so this is definitely one to keep an eye on. Maybe snipe some rares at reveal. Um, you kind of have to be there right when they reveal though. Don't be caught sniping someone's flip. Don't be someone's exit liquidity on a reveal. This one's going to be one we check back in on next week. One that really popped this week also was Phoenix's. Didn't really have a lot of hype going in, but they had a lot of support from some big names. Right before their mint, they were holding a Twitter space. Their mint actually got delayed. A normal project would have suffered a lot from the FUD. I guess because of the names that they had associated. They had Zeneca on their Twitter space. They had Probably Nothing. They had a few big projects, Crypto Mori in the Twitter space. I think about 800 people in the Twitter space. And, they just had a lot of support. They are connected to Gary Vee. And so they did see quite a big pump. They were going to initially be a 0.08 mint last week, and they ended up switching to 0.049 to I believe it was 3 mints per wallet. So I happened to mint 3. This was a good one that it quickly pumped to about 0.1, 0.14, went all the way as high as 0.17. So if you were able to get some profits there, that was a great flip opportunity. This is one I also called in Llamaverse around 0.1, and we did see a lot of good buy opportunities. It has settled down now to around 0.06, but definitely another one to watch for reveal. I believe the reveal should be sometime next week, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that for next week's video.